What's up, everybody? We're in the duck blind right now, doing some hunting. I'm here with my dad. What's up, Dad?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good morning.
Yeah, guys, and I just wanted to get my dad on the show for the YouTube. And Dad, I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So here's the big question.
We're going with the big question first.
Yep.
All right.
That's a snipe. Never mind. Sorry, guys. I thought I saw something, but here's the big question. Some of y'all guys may know that my dad has a YouTube channel. Dad, what's your YouTube channel called?
Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors.
And we have a good amount of videos. How much videos do you think we have?
I think we've now over 200 videos. Not professional,
No.
by any means,
No.
but amateur videos.
Here's
But if you enjoy the outdoors, hunting, fishing.
And here's the big question. I don't even know the answer to this, which is why I was curious. Why did you decide to start Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors? Why did you decide to start filming and share what we do with the world?
Well, I've been in the outdoors industry for a long time. From the time I was in college, I started working at one of my local sporting goods stores in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Growing up, my dad was an outdoorsman, and I always enjoyed hunting, especially duck hunting, waterfowl hunting, bass fishing. And then my grandfather, he was a hunter, both my grandfathers. And, so I've always loved the outdoors. That's my passion. My career now is based in the outdoors industry. I'm been in marine sales, boat sales for quite a while. I worked for Cabela's for 13 years. So I've always surrounded myself in the outdoors, and I feel like I have, a good bit of knowledge in the outdoors, especially here in Louisiana, growing up here my whole life. So my goal when I started Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors was to help educate, not saying that I'm an expert by any means, but I wanted to help educate other hunters. And a big factor of doing it was that with you coming up, you my oldest son, and then we have your brother Hudson. He's 7 years old. With the technology we got now with social media and YouTube and content possibilities, it's something that I could do year to year, and it's almost like a journal from year to year. And I've got to see you grow up. As an outdoorsman, we've been dragging you with us since you 4 or 5 years old, and that's very important to me to look back at it. And every year I can watch videos of you growing up and your brother growing up, and how much you've changed in the outdoors and what you've learned, and that's awesome to me. At the end of the day, that's why I do it, is mainly to look back at that content and see, how you've evolved and you've grown up, and your brother. And then also as myself as a hunter, I learn stuff, and I change stuff every year, and I try to build off of what I've done previous years. And by being a content maker and having that information available to not only us, but to other hunters, they could benefit from it. And that's why I did it. I don't, at this point in time, I don't do it for any kind of income, any kind of money. Other than the podcast, we do make a little money off of the podcast, but that's not why we do it. I know, I saw those two birds too. I thought it was ducks. And, it's mainly for us to have as content for ourselves and to share with other listeners and other viewers. That's why I started it. And, people ask me all the time, they say, well, man, why don't you sell merchandise and you do all that, And to be honest with you, I feel like I do a pretty good job of promoting it through social media, what we do. And to be honest, it seems like everybody nowadays does merchandise and does all that, And I'm not looking to make it necessarily a business as far as selling product and merchandise and all that. Not at this point in time. But I treat it as a business because I want you guys to have an opportunity to participate in it, and eventually, if you want to do something like that, we could turn this into maybe a family business. You know, I'm just trying to build the foundation. That's what I'm trying to do for us. So really, that's the honest to God truth of why I started it and why we do what we do. And we meet a lot of great people. We enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, that's the big question. That's what that I wanted to ask you, why you started.
Yeah.
Why you started it, and you're right. It's just awesome to see. It's just awesome to go hunting and enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah. I mean, when you could wake up, even like today, we're here in the duck blind right now, you and me. The way I look at it is, even on a bad day, I get to hunt with my son. At the end of the day, that's an awesome thing. We share these, you know, we share the good days and we share the bad days, just like in life, you know. But even on a bad day, sitting here in the duck blind like it is this morning, not a lot moving, hot weather in December, you know, we still get to sit in a duck blind, and we still get to enjoy to see the sun come up and you know, experience that. And now, as I'm gotten older, it's more about that for me than it is about the killing and, you know, the hunting aspect of it sometimes. You know, when I was younger and I was a little older than you, and I got into my teenage years and I started hunting with my buddies, it was always about, you know, first of all, when we started out, it was about killing something, you know. And then as we evolved and we got better and better at hunting, it became all about killing limits. You know, whether it was ducks or squirrels or rabbit, whatever we hunted. If we went fishing, we wanted to catch a limit of fish. And, you know, getting into tournament fishing when I got out of college or into college and out of college, I was tournament fishing, bass fishing, that type of stuff. And that was a fun time as well. But now I'm 42 years old. I have you, which is about to turn 13, and your brother, which is going to be turning 8. And it's different. My look on the outdoors has definitely changed. And I think outdoorsmen, as we go through life, we evolve. You know, you change. You go through different phases in your life depending on whether or not you have children, or, you know, maybe you don't have children. And but as you get older, it gets a little harder to do certain things, whether it's hunting a certain way, fishing a certain way. And you know, you tend to adapt and change with it. So it's definitely something that it's a lot of life lessons you could learn from it, just like, you know, sports or anything else that you participate in.
Yeah, and you're right. It's not always about the limits.
No, it's not for me. But like I said, you're gonna get to an age where maybe it will be about the limits for you. You know,
it will.
As you coming up, you know, you've learned a lot this year. You know, you're about to turn 13 in January, and I mean, just look at how much you've evolved as a waterfowl hunter this year. You know, we've had a really good first split to the season. For us being public land hunters, it's been a good year so far. But I could just tell. I mean, I could see you and everything you've evolved, you know, as far as how much you've learned. You know, there's a lot of firsts this year. You shot your first duck on the wing this year, you know. You know, or maybe it wasn't your first, but...
It was, remember that wood duck I mounted? I shot it
That's
on
right,
the wing.
that's right. But you've shot multiple birds on the wing this year, and that's something you've never done before, you know?
Each hunt I shoot at least one.
That's right, that's right. So you've improved there. You know how to decoy birds the proper way. You know when, now you're learning when to take a shot.
And calling.
You did shoot a decoy this morning, but that you thought was a duck.
Yeah,
but
early.
And then you missed it, and then almost shot the mojo.
Someone got me a new gun.
But yeah, that's another thing, man. First year shooting a semi-automatic shotgun for 13 years old. You know, to have a semi-auto, like I told you, that's amazing, man. You know, a lot of kids don't usually have a semi-auto that early. I know I never did. My parents couldn't afford that, you know. And at the time, you know, you couldn't buy an inexpensive semi-automatic. Everything that was semi-auto was pretty expensive. Well, nowadays with all these imported guns, you know, you could get some of these. You could give an adolescent a semi-auto to duck hunt with, or you know, for a pretty inexpensive price. You know, and you got a brand new one for Christmas. This is your first time shooting it, so that's another first. You know, you got your own, truly own gun, first semi-automatic. You know, that's yours. So that's pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, well, guys, I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. Well, Dad, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on the show with us, and that's just the question I wanted to ask you, why you wanted to start filming, and we got our answer.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
Yeah. So, alright guys, so I think that's where we're going to end it. And make sure to go check out my dad's YouTube channel, Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors. And make sure to go check out the podcast. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.